Welcome to another video, and as you can see by the title of this one, we've got a 102 kill game with the MP28 SMG on Underground Conquest. So be sure to stick around, because in this video I'm going to talk about the MP28's pros and cons and where I would compare it in comparison to other SMGs in this game, as well as what is happening in this game in particular, and obviously how I'm finding it and maximising my most amount of potential kills with this gun in this game. And as always, if you want to see the specializations I have chosen for this gun, then obviously check out the playlist I've created on the homepage or in the playlist section of the channel, where I obviously have 4 videos covering every single class in the game, and I talk about the best specializations, in my opinion, for all the guns in the game. One key specialization I will talk about in just a few moments time is, of course, whether you choose that hip fire and 50 round magazine route, or you go for what I've gone for, the 30 round mag, but higher accuracy and control over recoil. But what I want to talk about very quickly here is just this clip. If you haven't seen my Max IQ Plays Explained video, this is one of the clips in there, and it's from this game. I have an enemy here holding the doorway completely, won't push through. I have my teammate comes into the room now and is going to die. Obviously I want to revive my teammate, but I can't go for the revive because I've got the guy watching the door, and he's going to peek straight around the doorway as soon as I go for that revive, and I'm going to get killed. So you'll see what I'll do. I'm going to throw smoke off all the way to the side, not intending to use the smoke to go for the revive. I'm just going to throw it off to the side so the guy behind the door thinks I'm going for the revive, but I'm ready for him. And just like that, get the kill on him. Quite cheeky. Anyways, straight into talking about the MP28, and of course I want to address straight away why I have gone for the 30 round magazine, and obviously the higher accuracy over control of recoil. I know I see so many other people playing with this gun. They always go for the hip fire option and the 50 round magazine, simply because the hip fire is very, very good. You know, those crosshairs are so close together. You can see even here, without those specializations, down the other path, the crosshairs are already very close together and already good with the hip fire. And of course, if you're going to go for the 30 round magazine with higher accuracy, there are other better options for guns in the game, and therefore, you know, the only way this gun is superior over other guns in the game is, of course, going for that hip fire route. However, the one key thing I always talk about and cannot say about enough is of how, of course, Battlefield maps are 10 times 15 size, 20 times the size of Call of Duty maps, and therefore, to maximize your kills in any Battlefield game, you also have to be as good as you are in close range at long range. And because this means that every enemy you see, no matter how far away they are on the Battlefield map, you have the quality and the skill and the potential to actually kill them. And whereas, therefore, if you're only good at close range, you might see 100 enemies across the course of the entirety of the game, but maybe only half of those enemies, being 50 kills, you can actually kill at the range they are at. If you improve your skill rating and become much better at long range, no matter what gun you're using, then of course you can up that. So out of those 100 enemies you did see throughout the entirety of that game, you might actually now be able to secure 75 to 80 of those kills rather than only half of the 100. And that is essentially why I've gone for the lower magazine size but higher accuracy on the MP28, because using that higher accuracy plays to my strengths and my principles of playing Battlefield, and obviously needing to be good at long range at all times, no matter which map you're playing on. Even if it's the most close quarters map, most aggressive map like Underground, there is still always parts of any map where the gun can be more effective at long range. And as you know, Underground has got those 3 lanes down the left, the middle and the right, along with the straight lane channels, you know, straight down the trains as well. And so there's perfect opportunities there to use tap firing or changing to the gun's semi-automatic mode, which is one of the benefits it has over some of the other SMGs, which doesn't have semi-automatic mode, which can actually make it very effective at medium and somewhat useful at long range. But not only that, having that better accuracy means I'm more likely to hit enough bullets on target and actually get the kills and stay alive, as well as not having those 50 rounds means I feel like I can't play so aggressive, or I have to play less aggressive, and as a result I'm not going to keep running into my own death all the time, thinking that I can outgun any and everyone just because I've got more bullets in my magazine. And this will essentially mean that I can stay alive much longer, die much less throughout the entirety of the game, and therefore save time and not waste as much time within the death screen and spawn screen. So you might see people running around with a ZK getting 10 to 15 kills within 2-3 minutes, but then they're dying also 3 to 4 times and wasting 2 to 3 minutes. Whereas if you just play 5 minutes at a slower pace, then you can still rack up the same amount of kills within the same amount of time, as well as have way less deaths. Talking then briefly and quite quick about the benefits and drawbacks of the MP28 in the current setup, which I have got it. Of course, it is not the best SMG in the game. Other guns are much better in all different types of departments, whether that's being its recoil pattern and accuracy, along with its reload time, even the magazine sizes on some guns. It is by far from the best. However, it's a gun which I've done for a challenge for a 100 kill game, and so we're going to make the most of what we've got with it. And so the only real thing I can say about this gun is its tap firing and semi-automatic fire mode. They are both absolutely incredible, and if you really do practice and get used to tap firing and the semi-automatic fire mode on this gun, you can genuinely take on and challenge people with assault rifles at those medium, sometimes even longer ranges, because when you put it in semi-automatic fire mode, that horizontal recoil is almost non-existent, and the sight will just drop straight back down onto whatever target you are aiming at, and it makes it really easy to go for 2, 3, 4 bullets at an enemy's head and get really quick and easy headshots with this SMG at range. So the sight which I've gone for and chosen on this gun, as you can see, is the reflex sight. The telescopic sight, or the Lati sight I believe it is, was not very beneficial. While it gives you a better zoom, it highlights the recoil on this gun way too much, which makes it much less easier to manage and control at those longer ranges, which is obviously what I want to be good at. As well as the iron sight, while it is a little bit clearer with that front post, it does make more of the stock visible on the screen, which obviously makes you less able to see different things around the map or spot enemies, as well as the recoil pattern also being a lot more noticeable with the iron sight, because I think it is also zoomed in a little bit more than the reflex sight, and simply therefore using the reflex sight just makes it a little bit more manageable on the recoil, as well as the dot on the reflex sight makes it perfect for utilizing the gun's biggest strength in being the tap firing and semi-automatic fire mode for those medium to longer range kills. Of course, if I'm not using the gun's main strength, being the other specialization route for the hip fire. Now, talking about this game in particular, you can see we are pushing towards the enemy spawn at A. We've always got in this hallway someone using and staying on the Vickers machine gun, and it's always a pain in the arse because you can run straight past when they're not firing and you're going to get killed like 10 seconds later, even behind cover. It's just buggy and glitchy and quite annoying. But if you are very careful about it, there is plenty of cover in that area for you to be able to push forward and push all the way up to the MMG and take out a whole bunch of enemies and still secure a flank down either side on the enemies that are in that area of the map. I believe I took a death just a second ago, so we spawn back on B, and we're going to keep pushing again towards A, taking out as many enemies as we can along the way. You'll see in just a second when I get up to the wall here, or the next wall, I'm not going to push any further beyond that point, simply because I've got no teammates in front of me to help me or cover me or even take fire for me, as well as all the enemies are also pushing towards B themselves. And so why not just let the enemies come to you? You can already be ready, aimed in, and you'll win the majority of gunfights. So there's no need to therefore push forward to your death, especially if you're playing and you're on your own like I am. So the goal here is simply to take out as many enemies as possible as they keep pushing towards me, staying in this line and this formation with my teammates and waiting for that small opportunity to then be able to push forward. Obviously, once you've killed enough enemies and there's not that many enemies defending around that area, and it gives you the chance to push up onto whoever's left. And that is essentially what I'm going to do for the remainder of this game. I'm just going to push forward and try and stay in between B and A flag, use as much cover as I possibly can so that I can stay alive, and all the enemies are going to be pushing down all of these corridors, which of course, if you're waiting patiently and carefully, you will be able to pick off a lot of quick and easy kills. So there's 3 minutes left of this video. There really isn't much else to say about this gun in particular or what is going on in this particular game. So I will let you guys watch the final remaining minutes of this video in peace without me talking over it, so you can actually hear what's going on for once. But yeah, if you have watched this far, please smash a like if you have found something useful or helpful that I've talked about. And of course, subscribe if you are a regular viewer of any of the videos on the channel and are not yet subscribed. But yeah, without further ado, I'll let you watch the rest of the video. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
We have lost objective